All right, we are live. Thank you all for those who have just joined us. I've seen two, three people who are watching us already. This is the U-Turn show again. If you are new to this platform, we always remind our people who we are. So the U-Turn is a platform that is aiming to shape the mindset of young people and women and our community members through storytelling, dialogue, constructive dialogue, and guided actions to really empower people economically, socially, and also through entrepreneurship and innovation. So every Saturday, we come here to talk on select topics that are aimed to inspire people to take action, positive action, and make difference within our communities. And today, the topic is really very critical. It's the role of youth. As you know, youth are the engines of every nation, of every community, and our community youth have a positive, very positive, crucial role to play. And sometimes, if people don't remind themselves of who they are, they can easily forget. So today, we're really excited to share this topic. It was suggested by U10 members and also some of our fans who really wanted to speak to this topic. You may only see three of us. One is absent with regret and will join the conversation later on in the chat, but others will join us as we continue to speak on this important topic of youth. So usually we speak Dinka and English because majority of our followers are Dinka and work or book whether non koi because I for a dom. So we want this message be long Junubin and Dinka youth and all the South Sudanese and our allies who may chime in and contribute to this topic. So today I'm joined by our key people here, the U10 Fox. Kuri George, welcome. Good to see you and welcome, Alakir. Good to see you again on the screen. How do you feel? I don't know. You are the youth in the room, and I am your mother. And Nyaga window, Nyaga man. So that's how I'm seeing this conversation. So welcome to the show. And I don't know about Congo. What do you understand by the role of youth in our community? I know youth for. I know that we dal cake. Maybe about gone on pretty joy and got on the ground. I think from this perspective. Pretty joy, can you tell us like your understanding of the role that youth can play in society and its impact and related to experiences for Kamwanja?
Yeah, syukran Kual, ko syukran dangal akhir ko tenong followers ko wadia, we jakek ba mo tan che ba maharet, ko yanang ko ke dia lele che kwer chiala no. So anto hanang ko ti chian ba jora mat ko an che ba la ben. So amit piao chawek ba ting wadia ko discussion dia ko kana abia discussion piet red ku ke to la bia de ke chol youth youth anang ka ga lu ke contribute to community wala youth baya youth ala kin ya wai ka ga red tong twen in ya wai ke chol responsibility by wala responsibility bay in community bay in a tit aya wai in ke ya youth manatu achan baya complete youth kakor banang that mindset responsibility bayin nyinti de randang wala bayin nyinti de koyko dir den taw ke tin kana so eto ka kana danga ya dang ke role the youth community youth ai ke e ko leer ne ka wen jidir ai ke kapia data especially innovation so mostly most of innovations are young people ke benyal kana ideas ku tinka whether ba kana belu wala kana chi belu etong de ke chola role the youth in the community manatu achan baya fit baya rana wento ke youth ka kor banang that open mindset be in ya rana when takaret okay by a critical thinker so akana etong de ke chola role the youth in community then so then ko ke liberal do ke fanya ya dan So youth I ke the next generation I ke ye ler twen ye ke ler twen adi. So ye ke ler twen lon ye ke thi kolon ye ne ke tiak. So manatu achan baya youth ku baya feed youth ka ko batak spirit na wen be yin koi ko ba ba pin na معلش ناچيتو ينو ممكن إنشي normal youth okay so لازم بتاو ينو ممكن كنا كنا لازم كوكا كارود anyway أنشي كان أشاك بي exhaust بن ألا كيرا بابا بنان كان بيك كو بكو جالا كو جالا توين شكرا
Thank you. Kure Georgia camping. Yeah, I think you exhaust a lot of responsibility the youth who what are the expectations of youth and what are the capabilities that they have to you know to take on that responsibility. So looking at the growth perspective, youth are quite when GPI Benbei from adolescents, and they have responsibility to grow as a individual, because you come out of trying to please your peers, trying to do what everyone is doing, to defining what is important to you. And if you ajam ku koi to buy ku koi when youth one ramatong achila chibai thora chike baby youth yemana yongu bikalua contribute to buy. So the question I really hope our youth can focus on is, what can I contribute to my society? A lot of people think about, what can the government do for me? What can you do for your community? So KHL community building, youth earning the energy and the time, especially those who have not gone into being responsible for other human beings as parents. You have the time in law so college, you have time after school, you have time on the weekend. This is now the time to sit down and define who you are. Banyi piny ba chol wel ke ane ran e chol nge wan ke kwari ke chieng ko cha rot establish their identity bikal wel Wokai Jurechal Kana, we are known for this. So youth have the opportunity to sit down and define what they want to be known for at the individual level. And if my name is mentioned in a room, what's the first thing people think of? Because well, na jam ko ur kulura ani chol kure jo actually mentioned. Top of my head, what come to my mind is technological innovation. Kina been to my mind a community empowerment. Came been to my mind is that community building, because he has set his personal brand that this is who he is. Now jukla ben ke collective youth, then ke yongu kor binwongi your identity in the bigger society yongu, and then what is that role specifically. So I think having to define yin in relation to your environment, in relation to the larger society, is the responsibility of youth, and that what the objective is. How does the next generation look like? What is going to be the priorities of the next generation? Can a youth call, what can I do to define? Miyakul will not be dealing with the same problems. By we're dealing with poverty, we're dealing with a lot of child marriage. We're dealing with other challenges. So now you're rotting in a youth and you sit down and think, okay, in the next generation, yeah, and round it. The next challenge is for the new youth, big yaka chitngo, and what would be a problem of the past bial wala chia kater. So kai kater aya problem chika luo solved by the past generation ikako kor bika kater. So I think youth innovation in tech, in business, will be in community building. And then innovation in community building looks like, what is the culture that is really stunting our economic growth? Because if people are not growing economically, um, kachin lotwing, right? So yeah, that's what I think is the role of youth. Youth is defined a little differently, so I don't even fit in the youth category anymore. But there is a lot of expectation to really experience life as you are beginner adult, into the society, in your ben base college. in your team and you build relationship, and the most important aspect is your mentorship. So in Benbay, you are going entry level job. You look for a mentor, being guide on your career path or on your life journey. It's not just career and any kind of mentor. People look for mentor to mentor them to get into a right relationship, because right relationship and right partner can build you up. While you are in school, you can graduate in weekends and after school. You have that time to volunteer. So you will engage a lot in volunteering. And in homeless shelters, you go there to serve food during the holidays, during the homeless shelter. There are community centers everywhere you go. Every neighborhood and a community center. The community center and service ikagam. And majority of the service I volunteer program. Achan, Koito in a community see the benefit of volunteering their time of gifting their time to others to make sure there is a because they care for the well-being of Koi around them. I'll give it back to you, Kuala Bajabe, the role of youth in the society. But those are my thoughts.
No, thank you so much, Alakir, and thank you, Kuri Judge. Chan Jack, role of youth, Jack nailed really, really well. Okay, your youth, I mirror by Chitichin Wagatat, being young, I remember, and I learned it, yeah, senior youth, because Pan Canada, and I can know, yeah, about 25 teens, yeah, but I'm looking myself from perspective of South Sudan, and they can use an of Coleman in Pagarir. And so being youth really
It's your youth mama.
Come on. Yeah, youth mama.
you are reminding me of you, no, I did it. You have or I will hire him the allowance when you mama project, like you look Parakanisa, and they were very strong.
I
And
know.
Wow.
When you put youth into your identity, you have the energy to do amazing things.
Absolutely. Yeah, mindset at some point.
Yeah.
Jalwell. So and then walk out when you deal walk out youth actually is a good thing, and I like our people like doing that. Then you later done right kuja we call diamond we call youth and please share your thought in the comment section because all this youth and conversation is for all of us. To really dissect topic like this, what do we want our youth and young people to do? Even our youth mama and a youth baba, ko when you talk them when the education career field and at the IPO are young that so youth up to 45 years. Thank you, you beg use media. You are actually giving us another definition of you. So if you are 25, 45 years to figure youth, and you are the driver of your community to the positive direction, you are the hope, you are the new hope for those that are aging. And alakira chanye luel kine ine luel. Sometimes we look at our communities and our countries from a perspective of what can they do to us, but not what can we do to our community to improve condition our communities. What can we do to our young people to improve the condition of our country? I know but there's always opportunity when there are challenges. Um, that is where the opportunities are, and I think our youth and young people of our generation have a critical, opportunity to really contribute positively to development of our communities and our country. And you said really well, like that our parents, their prime time to use in something productive liberation of the country. So our yin country, our yin all, on our own, territory. But now, what do we do within that, country? Is now up to us. What do we do even if you're a refugee camp there to work in Dubai? It's up to us. What can we do here? Work to diaspora, work Jacob. What can we do is up to us. So we have, we are. Today is our defining moment to see, learn from, the resilience and the strength your parents to demonstrate, fighting it can okay it can dear cake it can all kind of hostilities and they persevere until they bring us like a country called South Sudan. Now we have to change the narrative instead of blaming them that are by my what are we doing to contribute to making that place a good place where our future generation will be proud of us? Okay, generation where you work you put a e can actually yin work. So you want to work for our yin by young book by in our community. I think angling from that perspective is really important. And it also takes us away from this narrative that is going on, now they are in our community. And they are shape the mindset of people. There are artists that are and that are singing songs that show that our people they mentally could be mad, and that's why this topic is important. One of the songs called the Believe. I don't know Jack on pink called Bong Dodge. If you are a young man and you need the Believe,
That used that used to be my that used to be my favorite song at some point. Kadier Koikok.
Wow.
Yeah, so cheap yet, Malek by them talk a call.
No, I need a break to learn and create a rush.
Yeah, I didn't you want young and I penya cherira it go akati. Uh, I can went to law in the community, by the way. So around here, check a cheap it. Acha ben yo and you bala watcher of banki kujala dindu and I am near by dodging because there some time and then I are real at some point ko lon yeke are real and then missing a when yeke pure quite. Youth ben are vulnerable. Where actual be government be yin loy wala wala be quiet ho yinom be ke yin loy wala barot loy ki ya vulnerable e ko nya ba ka ye ja kor so a mindset can a mindset raja ret ku kata on nong youth ben ku mindset can a ko be nyai chalwel a ko na lwele na le yo kule ka pa nin tie ku to pe na tok runa lip karo ku tro ku di lwele ye ko ke ran ben abia pir inchi bia lui ke due ba ya cham ada kan 90% pin no malo at ta nyu contract kana to be honest 90% ko atan ka lo biran ba ya doi ku lui pepa e cross check up yet wala chinye tan wala chukwa tan ran ben anya that free life be in ja cham tok okay English actual is food feeding. So in create bena ye ja kor bitaw yutok in chi kor ba ikdang ba ya loy mindset kana ato most of our youth ko ye ne kati akor bichu bichu nyai kadang chan lu ya ko kul de share ko chen on la ro de la so ke chol sense of responsibility wala baroton ke chediet kan yan min wan yan met so ya tem baroton sometime aya ping nong ima madia ku jala nyira ka kya are lik bir yan chenko aya veli biaga and tewe na pieta lat na tao a buku choa pin ka ba chopping na chopping ka chopping alwele ye kidi yana final chatting so
Yeah.
and that ngadi that mindset yana ka kor biya mindset when talking about guys that mindset when be in ya independent ku be in nan ka when loy community yana ka when korot biya talking about uh, school fees ke gol senior one alo bato ane ka ye ka chwar pen kwa che non family da chin ka kan but anan kan but that sense of ngadi independence yana ka chalom so na lom ku ka wo youth but nang mindset of when be ina independent na lweran kana ye loyal ka boku chope lwela ay loyal bikri ye ben beto ke side be conclusion ben bi ala ben ke kadandu ko kana bo wok ler twen ko wochi be ba ya penga diar chi rote ya bung doi ku jala diar kok
Thank you for sharing that, Kurijwa. By your thought, I think year and day, and sometimes I'll be inborn. Sometimes I look by observe putting that, thing around the get you up and follow, right? Even if in this kind of that turn pure or in to when a new pure, you can change that. And through mentorship, when you're like, you know, bara antigra and chuka kulwera and yana babioti luga ke ale ban era chope man ni chini story do jerin put judge kunora and ping tele ale blow wow put judge has said something important on the U-turn. Now I have to make a U-turn to be like him. And that is how progress in Ben. And that is why these conversations are very important. It breaks my heart to hear, you know, this song and this mindset that Ruthie, who's supposed to be protecting Dodge, Dodge Bebo. Like seriously, what kind of song is that?
So sad.
I
So
like
sad.
Rani Chaken because he was just trying to let us see what is happening, and now you think I take a bit. So thank you for composing that song. And there are many other songs. Okay. There are many trending names. You man, yi purchula, yi purmura ujakom because in our community. When I see this narrative, or you are lie, it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart because phenomenon like one of the conversations like saying Randy the channel repeated kulela lweli ye pinga la krichi ndu kanyi tuolga yandu kine young people kudu yen ke very important thing yen kangi your own needs and not your own need means now you go out to the community and meet the need of your fellow con your community do you man you do you man you on different abilities disabilities you man ko when boy chien ba ka be ben yal bi ya ko te ki na love your mio kin ti legacy pia ta wa yen that conversation here. So I don't want to dwell on that, but I want to really bring it back to now. Now we have seen that and there is a lady which will be youth and soon I plan officially invited to Ben soon who have written like things that are making our young people not progressing, especially in South Sudan. Of course, there are so many opportunities that are available for young people, even in South Sudan, even abroad, even in refugee camp where they are. It's just that not many people are willing to look for them, and those that are looking for them, sometimes it's a good network, and that's why you need to use your data. If you have access to U10 conversation, to U10 media or non access, inbox ko in said balalim will be in kalala for party, you can actually get will be in kalala sukule or will be in kalala we apply for a scholarship and better your future. So some road different challenges that are making our young people stranded, in South Sudan. And I can say those challenges are not unique to South Sudan only. They are available even here. There was a young Nuer boy who said, yeah, he is passionate to make difference in his community. The problem, it did bite in Canada. How can he become a community in Nuer community? That one a challenge to us when me educate I educate English. So the first language now English, second language will be our French, third language are different other languages. And we expect them to empower communities, but they don't know their own language. So that one a challenge, and these young people are speaking up. So I want to answer this. I want to have this question about how can our community and our community leaders empower young people to take challenges, and be a solution to some of the challenges that are affecting our community, like poverty are very high, tribalism, like we take everywhere, instability wherever we go, there is always kind of conflict within our communities. How can our leaders actually look back and support even people program continue youth and be empowered, be elevate so that we are strong to impact our community positively. Lucky, take it away.
Yeah, I think we need to examine what are the point of contact between the older generation and the youth, and how can you align core youth, like what are the needs that the youth need, and how can the older generation share knowledge, pass down teachings, learning, insight to young children, especially the language. Community kok chagatinga aning community center, each block and then community center or neighborhood. Church Champlain Heights. There is Champlain Heights Community Center. If I walk down 20 minutes, I engage our Kalani Community Center. Community Center kaka yeneke programming ayeloi. Na che tinka koi jam tok tokaju Ukrainian people jam tok tokaju che neighborhood kena kwane mikor. They will organize a language tuition or a language programming. Let's say every 3 days a week after school program yen mi den kala pyoje tong den na yung man tini Chinese ke jam tong den. How come that is happening? Because ke ka chirut connect and they use those touch point for passing down important information. Ko kwan ke jinga nin kanisa. Kanisa they feel alienated in Kanisa because Kanisa actually look a socializing space for the adults to connect, which is good. Lakini a be programming meet betautin. So I think it's a youth engagement. Na chikola kanisa ran at some point downtown. Once opening prayer cholo ke youth ajal bikala piyoj. It's all going to be the cholin. So the people who know Tongijian could be running this program. Bial will na daman chika ben kanisa committee alo bigala youth programming kubiga pioja Tongijian. That is how I learned how to read and write Tongijian. E yukulo after school e yu koi pioja kanisa ega chodu pioja kanisa ake ke ben sukule jitadia. Ache sukule tiyo kataro because Kayitadia Kalula Kwayaning Tongajiang. And we were both learning in class, including Markwa, who Warkwa. They come to class, they learn how to read and write Tongajiang. So programming and touch points are a big align. Naning community event chiben kai choli community barbecue or picnic or any gathering chiben ka youth programming lui introduce for learning language, for learning culture, for storytelling classes because knowledge that will pass down through storytelling. For teaching songs, the best way to learn is repetition. Work a period on the A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now, chakadang chatao into a rhythm, children will catch it. So, pure kega diar katonga jiang. Encourage them in your house. Na chopping a red cocoa melon all day. Better di tonga jiang tao. Be meet ping. They might not understand in the moment. Lakin it'll be a point of connection when they grow up and they want to connect to their past and their history bika ping diar ka tong jing, and I do that a lot. Tong jing tang dang ya nuan laki na cha ting ya kala YouTube kuta diar ka deng patuot ku diar ka panchol deng ajang, and make sure I listen and connect to those stories, and it really helps. So programming ka youth in a ka diar, yes apiet, lakini make a more intentional classes where you meet ka jam yen meet pyo tok tong jing tong anuer tong bari, it doesn't matter. Koito in your area ke kor baka fine a chalo pan jidit kin ting ye koi ko toten ye koi ko jam tong duan. Every community does this. Ye community by long down koi ko Malawi. I ben kwangi road any Malawi and toten angich Malawi and dangta. Kege ben angi road. So yen be energy beta where the change needs to be, I think can be really effective. Kanisa, we can learn about Jesus and God, but we can also learn about ourselves, and that will empower the young generation to know who they are and their community and how to serve the community moving forward. That story of the young boy from Nuer, very heartbreaking. And I nanchi parent ke chigo korbit jam tong den. They could be working 2-3 jobs. Achana gomet goneng, good food, good lunch at school, go to a good school, wear good clothes, achi bully so college. Lakini, kiena community jaben thine the youth because we volunteer to run a language. Pe koi ngi tong jieng, koi jam tong jieng, koi ning tong jieng literacy or tong nuer bika YouTube channel bika leo kubika ya pio IEO tong jieng. Those are resources we can create. They cost nothing. You go in the front of the camera, you learn from Kure George how to record educational videos. Kuloi upload. You can literally open your YouTube channel. Yinja mako kul kadong jing. We have so many interesting tales full of lessons. Your community galoi passed down to us. So those are a few things I could think of. Queer, if there's anything else you'd like to add, you're welcome.
Với trả là jar education extend. Apol ka de luai question paraphrase da.
No, yeah, the question was how can our community, and our leaders, people who know power support young people, like empower youth to take on challenges in our community, take on leadership roles and tackle issues of, tribalism, instability and conflict, poverty, and all the things that young people can learn and tackle.
Yeah, hey, and shukran. Chaja did. You know, ketwing mind a car at least be train dola wen yenen te kawen piet ko kawen lui. Yang ya ko ba le ten. You know, nai you know ke surround when a koi when a tag kapit. Kay yen lon ye in tag kapit de kana. Lekin nai you know ke surround when a koi when taga kachi lui so in la ben mia ki yara na wen a kwe kan bai long dun wala yin ke ra wen la kariye je ben raj yin ka la loy so ki ya ke le berot kedan ke le bi government wala community da be ke ya loy akor buko programs buke ya initiate program a wen ke ye chon la entrepreneurial mindset ke ya bay a program chirka ka pia daret I'm a fan of this entrepreneurship. I'm near well. Though I nang quite a well with them, right? So, kaya chola with a important peer man rani. Kuna liu kan yin a kachi kadang. Ako arbu program bika ya kadang. Mana na lor ako ya America yan nang the Shark Tank. Shark Tank ấy thì when en quite ben in ideas kwa ya ke fish ala ki myo cho well okay ku ba ning duon kana bala jwa ko Nigeria anan ke chol lion dance so ko jai ben in lui fish ku lui kadang du support ben a chi Kenya che lo wan tio Kenya anan ke chol lion dance ya dan lui support by KCB chatting one and quite ju cho kwa the South Sudan so ku ko ka na met ka nim ku be ke youth be ke ya support ke ra an bena ye yen that mindset be nan ka winter you know human being ache pir na chin competition man na lwele na le yina la kir na lwele na ko ja be ke ma der ku ka chin ke ye chol a chin price cha attached to it ka chin perfect dancer to ekena to man ra na che pyo je ke chol competition lekin na lwele number 1 ato ekene kara na bena kedan ku kana cham ne aron pa ni je nge yen ka ye wo chak gara pet ku ka ya ko bu kelu chan technology la ka jala ben ku jala ko ken ke lekin ran bena ye daman on to bai number 1 ye chal ku man ko chachin number 2 man ko chachin up to top 10 so ko ka myo ja hadia borana bin go ben gana mindset a wen be en ya to ayo kore chan bi ni a chol that top 10 a che kore chan birin ku ka jala chol class je le chan chor class je be la ko number 11 ala bela ler ran wen ga class ku je ran ga class je yong ala bela pandit so ka chir ka ki appear that this business ideas ko yan kan yaran so kulan chole lu ko expose a chan branding that mentality be in nan ka don loy okay by a CEO abar mana kulor linkin page mid get to lu most of them are CEOs why a chan a check train lon when beke ya tak ka when beke ya bay to the community ka na appear there so non koi kwon che kwet ping walk I know one and quite ju che kwet by the way so we kwon ki yana ka mit ya ka ideas ya ke welcome ku ba ke ting sometime idea dia ile babai lekin ki yara na when dit in chi do nang knowledge ret idea dian kan ile ba polish okay ile ba polish allo biya idea when chuk pya ko ni community so ka ti a chuk pya da ret ko be na ko lu invest bu ko nang either bu ka dang da bu ko ya chol ngo ren na che ka ba lu le kana pat e benang ko when nang ideas be ke ya support ko be ke startups ken be ke ya la loy dang ya dang a ko bu ko nang ka chi yutan kana but be chu to in person, you know, ben koi when she are successful brand be in la le story de most of koi I lu learn is stories chama na we ra ko ko lu ku turning point do chala yo ke ka piete ka lo ku le ran yen ran kana aba kwan cho kuran kana abi yele so ka chirka ki apia da red nong nong either government wala nong work ko ye community apia da red ko buku ya tawaya ko karaker akor buko neng ke chola mentorship de la biak de ke chola especially leadership, you know, leadership most of what I pour at biak ke chola leadership ko community da ben 90% ko leadership at a core ko tin ni leadership ken get ele biran wele ban ran ben an yar ban le kin ku ye mo ye ban ye loy chatting so ko bu ko chua pure how to handle coach ku lon wen che in ko ko bia wai pen generally being chu pure ethics ka wen ya ka wen leader na era na wen in chi kwan ki leader ache nó ne yin war ko je ben lekin in ji yen chance go ko be ngore run kana sometime mia karan de ngabe be ben lekin na chara ne chak na chak na ya ko mistreat tienen run kwon kumin keke so na la jan mia ya dang yen ka biya channel qur'an bena bra bena biya mistreat so aguden cheten kana ambo ko abu ko ngot ka juko do yin na kwal ko ba thoughts ko ba ka ngot ka ta okay quite kaya ka ting ka ka le be ka loy community dai ago kunang that mindset. Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much, Guru Joacha. Into very, very critical points that you raised on how our community and in general and those in leadership can actually empower youth and youth programs. And Alakira, we touch really on how even spaces that we already have, Chimanhikanisa, how they can, use, the power and resources they have to really build the capacity of next generation youth. So if I near on the page Ben to the show, thank you also Dorcas Adish. Your comments are very empowering. You are engaging in the chat and we call diving we took a late and we took a low na yakimisi you important. Can we can share that the only way you can support and continue the U10 mission of changing mindset, of shaping our cultures and our communities in a positive way by sharing the message to reach many people as possible that can benefit from it. So we took a late back to Kirindwelnia, how how a community can take this and it I want to make a good announcement just based on Kichipuri Judge will you really call people or people actually resources live no work and we can be like the countries that you just mentioned that are shaping their young people mindset by rewarding them it's one thing to to have the resources another thing to use the resources to positively impact the community and can you well at this time because we U10 we will be reaching out soon in the next few months for fundraising so we want to launch the U10 fellowship where we will match people that are in the field with young people use for mentorship and those who have business idea if someone have a U10 idea U10 business idea that may change our people then now how do we build and you rightly put it that there is no shortage of resources in our community and it's just a matter of us to come back and say one on this initiative kor book loy work or resources ben work meeting ben work ideas can book a chajaw and so now Iran died and please loy missing then share because it bo I keep pretty joy bola unwerto but it bo you chol ga liquid that water and watch it ko ga jama bat boy ko loy and kalo you can
Absolutely.
you can conway could you can ben loyal and this year you will see a lot of things that you could get alluded and that the U10 fellowship it will be a big thing. So it will be focusing on two things: entrepreneurship and career development, career mentorship. And so the entrepreneurial string is where now no the U-turn business idea ka funded in rank in your benin idea de lo test and try with the support of U-turn mentor. So those things are turned away and Ben work was support. But back to the topic of discussion today, actually Dorcas in the comment actually it's one thing to avail resources, another thing for individual youth to actually take advantage of these resources. And so in ALU, everyone is being groomed or developed to be a CEO. But Nadia, everything is that do those people go to ALU because they already have passion and determination and drive? Or ALU in that education and mindset. So it's I can say it's both way. No, natural selection happen. So even young people, if you have motivation, right, you have a motivation to learn new things, to empower yourself, and you have the passion and desire and determination and persistence to put in all it takes, even not sleeping at night, so that you can develop a thought that you have to be something that is valuable beyond business. Then now your opportunity given your resources you can develop, then now you become a CEO. But if you are just there in learning and kan resources bi ka ya tawi nyen ka ki kala lo use na ka tawi chin kila business a lot fail. So really what Dorcas is trying to tell us here today is that we young people or you young people need to really pay attention and be passionate, be passionate about your dreams, your goals, and reach out. There is no shortage of resources out there that you can take advantage of, and there are a lot of mentors and us here at the UTEL, we're willing to give our time and energy to develop those minds. So I'm a cogitant. The next question, anybody, unless not, no, you want to chime in again. Otherwise, the next question is, how do youth now voice, play their part? Like what does activism or role or activism or advocacy play in wakening people up? And get to never bet that they wake away here like a one drive. It's one thing to have passion, another thing to be inspired. So how does this inspiration or advocacy or activism, help awaken the youth and also, drive change in the long run? Maybe you can speak to your experiences, your stories. Like here, but you encourage his passion value. How does his involvement, help those around him? Because we know there is peer pressure. If I'm doing well, people around me will have to compete for me to do well, like me. If I am failing, and then people around me have to fail too because they can motivation. So, like from your own experiences, how does youth activism and advocacy, shape society?
Yeah, so like what you dwell on day to day is what becomes your reality. Now you do dwell on places where they're not supporting where you want to see yourself, then it's in where you will be there, right? So you tell a Benton, it comes in to make sure people are thinking of this empowerment journey. They're thinking of what they can do. They're thinking of their dreams and goals. They're staying on track. They are taking advantage of resources. So activism and advocacy, then a environment. I'm a big believer that your environment will shape you more than your DNA. Kuna charatao in a good environment, kucho DNA du cho bea ben tana when chineng real pio, then that competition will pull you out. Chanimira thing and you will look around and you see this is what people do from morning to evening. Well, you will go along and do it. I watch any self identity then. So the activism and the advocacy is cultivating a culture, and this culture then will shape Koito within it to towards a common goal, which is a better an advancement of the youth economically, culturally, socially. So Kayaka Luel, when we talk, it may seem like a chin koloiku, But really, 50%, equally 50%, when you sit down and clarify a problem, you can act. You develop like this is how it should be done. But now can you pin kulo plan balari clarify, define the problem. If you don't really define the problem in business, HR business case, you may know this, but you write a business case and akin ku garpin, we wrote some of it, but we talk about some of it. The business case here is to establish what is the issue. If youth having desire to do better for their life, for their community, but the reality is looking different. Can we sit down and figure out what are the different factors, analyze what are the different factors that are supposed to make the environment the hub for youth to grow? Now, Liuke, how can we get them? In ideas, yeah, bent in the grand competition or the entrepreneurship competition, and in different entrepreneurship hub. Yeneke lab where you can build out your idea, test out your idea, and in different resources you can take advantage of, different sources of information, and in different people you can be on the U-turn to share their journey, so you can see whatever you are thinking is such a dream and it's far out of touch, it's reality, it can happen. Achiran men kubukulu story day, you learn a lesson from what they did. They'll tell you exactly day to day. But what I want to remind the youth, the biggest resource that jam about it, internet. Na cha data du cha watch, you can sit, watch a meme and laugh, but you can also go on the Google and say how to start a business. You will find information. Abu garping, step by step.
Absolutely.
Abu
Absolutely.
well, step one, sit down and write your business idea. Na cha garping, find someone and share it with them. Does it make sense? Find someone and ask for resources. you know um like taking advantage of your biggest resource, which is your mind, and your augmented buku layin. You are stronger than you think. You have the resources beyond the lack of money, which is your brain. Na chatao into good use, chatao into good environment. Ye koi ka kanisa luel choko kero kadiak manerin ke. Things will be done. God does not
Amen.
work alone. Chala
Amen.
nyale jachie luyeto. Yen, he need two other people. And they were able to deliver whatever project keneka loike. So activism advocacy is being encouraging people to be in the right place among the right people, and then they'll get to the right ideas. And at that time we spend in the wrong space kay kulala in the road of small thinking and divisive thinking and political ideologies ka winche affect day to day. What a specific leader is doing, it doesn't affect whether bacham dina or not. That is not a big issue. Think about about cultural, who has influence in your life. It's yourself. Okay, yang being coin to help you whatever happens from your day to day is much better. But yang adega konyi na arwan pin mi apple kachin kwan you've had an idea of making money. You've had an idea of getting a eating a better breakfast. Kachir kaka. So that's why activism, advocacy, talking is crucial step of attacking bigger challenges and big issues. I see Query George wants to add. Welcome.
Yeah, inche wela chake tola la kir ke beta wai wel ku ke buka ja chwai. You know, ni pachok uh, achan bato community ka community most of londu ki yaran apiet be awareness in ye loy spread non kwat kwen ka yan activism yan ka yan ben ke tong te ke jaten. You know, brand ben be aware situation yang ko road yang yindi uh, runwan chalo wala runwan chete kaka ana raj money management with aya loy can aya doi well and one with we same county. So with ang ilonde but management and right da chur lekin resources online resources akaba emphasize it, you know, goli internet ku jala ko ka ai in pure on how to ngadi ger ku dun kor nin tawan ka tin ka nin to internet ka tin ka ai ke nin piet be yin ka dun to ka ni yin bayagam man na do ra na ngi kana even if na ye ka kwai ke le balwel ya ngai ko wayele youtube ko loy solve especially ka technology ka so ale karan jagai lwele ye ran ci lo pin tar malwal ko ga che yen this internet te na yen ka ci kadang yen ka chin la louis stand out ko ka chin ka taw kana yen te lo biya ka adede kana so an ci ben pio ya red anang boga ci ka ber ko men no ngen nang ran wo yan ka ke so go en ja pio ji 50 30 20 rules. So kuje ba ya flip nan ke chwali aggressive saving kujala ka ga ben finance ben gwa date ke chwala money management kujala ka ga ka so okana kuje bokok je ke ben ngot ke je ke ka device chama i richest man in babylon rich dad poor dad kujala boke ke finance so kana baje that ngadi 8 minute video wo kana yene ka chi live dia na ka che po ger so apia dar het ba mb school ba ke yang ye use anan ka nga jamala well you become what you eat so cha le na e janjara yen cha ma kim bia janjara lekin ke che in time di du che in atau tin yen ye chol ga lu consume yen ke ya yin so law of mastery e jamala 1 hour daily bay in commitment how kadang cuman na kar cuman na ya software engineering and ka ba chu dating wala especially artificial intelligence wala machine learning na ka ba dating ke support by when anything related kind of machine learning 1 hour but dedicate for 10 years kin ya master in that field. So that law of mastery ilebe kwelnyen ya kwelnyen adi ilebe kwelnyen time instead of 1 hour ilebe lo yi 3 hours but lu concentrate etong dun kor bangi kana ko at the end of the day kin chirot yo kin yin chiget tepe ya doi lwe la chingrana wen ngi kan eran ti la romping kana information yene ke ya ran ngi kan at that particular time. So ran nghịch càng aliu e ran chỉ là vô cái information hoặc là những cái việc chỉ là in dat cái đằng nhà cái yên nhọt in đi in nghịch càng cố cái này rồi proof anh tâm anh cha anh anh kén đói lo sukuli for some reasons giờ lo classic e kana kamas high school kan so utate ka tina e ti cha recap and e utan niara e recap of kachir loye do ti well kene ka kang miti jaro you chike ga bleed to in the room chatting halwele karara biara tarawen ai koi ka yuk information before me okay so yang kayen ke Louis Sim before my side as if chike ke ngit kang so ka ka balwele tene na cha yo one information at that particular time yen ke determine yin in ngit kang ko yen determine ka yin in rana when nen ka pie da when to kan yin so the aside kati apiet banyu pe ko ba ko ba ke ya ting rana when ye kor ba kwancho brand when beto ke role model du so kana abin kwanyare so akwala buku jak ngot ka du ko yin ba jala tiok
Yeah, no, I can answer. I can well. Ran got information, you know, get your like no. Kidun chala ba jako la. E kang piang live show day. Chalwer to yin in book and get and get your life defined. In the past,
lele
actually,
ti ye yin ngoloy
I look to yin in information you consume and get you define. I
absolutely
want to believe that it's true. Even Facebook algorithm, a year recommendation of information he chose. So even if you used to be like me in the past when I used to watch cat videos, all your newsfeed is young cat videos. If you like drama, because and there was a time that my life was so boring that I like drama and I tiran girl, I'm like in that minute I will be live. And wait for that 10 minutes because I don't have that person I could will plan on will care. So and again for me you know kind of drama. There used to be this Me Too movement in our community where in Facebook which was good at the time, but sometimes the better one. So information you all will consume in define in ya lui calculate num do it. And if not chaotic information can do a ye host, it can just set up the jadam. If not information when you bear one of can do a war happy. So we can go let in a way me the cake away near a cake where I'm talk away you the young people in particular we are advising you that to make a U-turn to consume information when you information when you know all at when information when you are by a different person information when a philosophy do you are nang children at jam on the U-turn recently you know even after in life in philosophy your guiding principle in you that you know na lui stick to it ka cho yin ran wada ka lui leave ben na cha to ka yin lui remember yin ran no you know ka tie ti cha wan pin no so that philosophy in a core but define and in ke role when you will ko so Sudanese use that attack diaspora or attack you know back home a core brana ni pin ko ke and a quality what do I want you know ben en ni man ne ala ke what do you want ben ani for me right now, I've already decided I want one you can any U-turn. Good. Any change. So I'm quite loom in a negative way. Kulwela nyirka U-turn, I feminist, I bijam kaka dear women empowerment. Which you put it join the table, I'm gonna walk and watch a rura too, come on. We like road. We like our brothers, we like our fathers, we like our husband. We want, you know, you want to watch and mark because society won't imbalance where rura pick on him kudiarata nimping achelo twen is in case society Barack Obama you are playing half of the team right and you are competing with other nationalities when tola so in na bar ka wata nimping diarata nimping kurata nimping we compete with other countries say Kenya kuri jalwel for example so Sudan are we compete Kenya abo kana diar Kenya ke cha kapel in business they know entrepreneurship like and they know everything. And then what book at the air watching and you better book Malaya do it work out to dear. The what we entrepreneurship and while we compete go all we. That's why I always have to every year be entrepreneurial. They're entrepreneurial. Look you can other people who are entrepreneurial to what him, you know. Check Bible I cause so Sudan I call benefit career. I hear of physical fight because why call here watch it on the area of mental contribution book bay to the world. Like why call it gifted, why call it brilliance. Why believe you call it physically because also not call it call barium. Who call it a nature copy at our opinion. But you know, right now could you no mindset. So if not mindset don't be wrong, if philosophy don't be wrong, catching get pinum rio way work up rio but in a book go I got you one in shopping go walk up and pinum career and the way ben pinum career you walk a book watching mark book that support we make a u-turn to book on the app you know first of all brand brought on the app to brand the Junubin the app here our life in edit man could you write more to know Paul Kurenya to know all these identities let's take them look at differences when become up. So young people, you have to unite. We have to unite. Our parents, who can take to and get the kind of thought of big baby. But now, you know, we're watching into this cheap politics, and I think community that I'm kind of community, you could write who are you song and you compose book or relationship, the talk and book dapping, book or lad. That thing we need to stop. We need to make a U-turn on those things. We need to make a U-turn on those small things. And also our young artists, message one. Young artists, okay, all dear by dear, that dear mindset you can shape. So even I take book I care dear when right. But the book money you did rutia bong dodge. Those things are funny for 1 week. But if not, anything, what you want, I think, a little bit and we progress. Dear, when, the other yan to back at one clearly, no, Tiana, Kong or any like the mo. That one, those people are like, because soon, go more, I could have got you pay. I think, I don't know if you know that song pretty dry, but
Eting wale ne kaya lui kana compose. Jedin
oh,
gan.
yeah. So those are the songs that we have to change the narrative, right? So if not negative stereotypes, chica chow ko who go on dear when because the bus. Because get your mindset they get bus by get ping check about when the faith come by hearing and hearing and hearing. So if not happy at you can be a negative stereotype you can debunk and throw them away to the window. It want no progress. But now you judge dear when stereotype because confirm look rooted and make them be part of the culture. And singing industry, man, get it all using because entertainment, I actually use sport and entertainment, comedy, dear. Can I use the youth and if the youth are not listening to the youth message, it can miss out. And wrestling. I like their winning culture pion, you go on to job pion. There could have pion that. How are you go back pion? I read where part in that sector. Where quite communities, happy and where who get carry, look at pink, and get you ten level. And the bed jam read, but the jam walk now in your unpaid Ben. Thank you, we call you a big up. Grand Paul, thank you for supporting us. Young driver, you have work to get it. So I like you driving. You are here for the reason. Drive this message to people that will benefit from it. So in challenge. And of course, Kurumalo Almasin alternate. Thank you for your encouragement. When young people come together, Kenya, yeah, like I preach, I met a girl who young, I pray. Raja kan arkadis saya kuri jual kue ada itu kadis awal ada lagi rennya lagi gawe kue piat so in amat watching orang dia on this
Ati
youth
kate achil welo go agave je man.
oh you see ke change abo ke positive change abo so you could young people you need to play your role to drive positive change in our community, to drive positive change in our country. And it starts with self. Self. Let us not rely. I will get it back to you. Nalakira. And then I think that and I think we discussed briefly before when we went to the show there. This dependency mindset. No, yani buka rechol dead eight. Kuri gwa yake kwen kujebe remind nong enwin. And I remember, and told them this a moyo. Tien when dead eight, kwan win chin progress in bay. And what jam yen and I read on the youth and teach all independence, self-reliance, creativity, innovative thinking. You will encourage. So how can young people, liberate themselves from this mindset of entitlement and dependency. In Kabia last question before, but you can message work. I think you show here. So Lakir, maybe you can start us. I don't want to go deep to where it started, but now in 2025 and going forward, what do you see that young people should do in that mindset of now can we support pan ulen or pan kwatin bitter a bit bitter go and do your thing and prove them wrong actually. But really, how do we encourage ourselves to be looking for resources to empower ourselves instead of relying on aid? Yeah, okay, question back to you.
Yeah, for me, I used to have I used to think there's people responsible for me. I don't know, parent, koi karwai, big house, college and whatnot. And then in 2011, I sat down and I look around me and I see how anatoka akuma and I see how, you see people around you, they've been in the same place for the longest time, Pirdena Kirot Gear, and Charan Cheka Bay and Kirud Bay. So that's exactly how my life is going to be. And I look at it and I said, I don't like it, You that has to come from within. I don't think it can be taught. You have to really be disappointed in people. By a disappointed choir when you get why responsibility will change you. I'm a big believer that in negative emotion I good drive for change, especially anger. Riak pio kana bin pio riak kichira nang luoyin or how you ended up there kuba luel again. I completely reject this situation tawantin, and if I don't do anything kachira begir. Number one is taking full responsibility for how your life is. But Peter Baloya says Kubating that okay, PDRH, and no one is responsible for how things turn out like this, not even your parent. In Chile Baluel ke parent dia kachi PD jario kabayenga. As long as you have someone to blame for your problem, change a chirot below inchi bedang self determination being always drive out of whatever situation ko bin jaltin. So keka bala the general public you in a situation you call support. If you are capable, please go ahead. But in the long term, you're actually ruining these people's life. Now, chara and chatting a physically capable. Alla be rolwe apply. Alla bila wala tup. Alla bila purudom. Kubu with the baby. Lagi na chanyo pin and loy disabled. Kuye ye jam to career. Yeran kene pide chariok. You might think you are empower them. Ye koi reke chol white savior complex, right? Yene surai ka mit chi choka no. Ai ka ja share ku jolo walai. Na ken dola diena tuoj ka pi dena chi piat. Sometimes we really need that. But sometimes rana when capable that and then ki a cham miadur kwa college kote and then you sit them down ku ye ka ja mi to ya. Yen a dependency kacha create. And I'm a big believer that this is not an intentional accident. Chiralo in world superpowers economically, benefit countries because depending for food on others, on themselves. Actually unintended. This is by design. And acharan jating acharan jating chia dependent on you. A classic example of domestication. If you read the history of how dogs became domestic animal, how cows became domestic animal. First, you go there, you take away all their responsibility. Now, when they have completely forgotten how to take care of themselves, you swoop in with a solution and you demand things like selling out your children in the future. And these are fine print or the loan from World Bank. You think they're doing you a favor, they're not. You're actually selling your children. You mitko who will pay off this debt. Ako guatinga Kenya and that can jail for years and the citizens are angry about it. So Kwajwich Abinyuj Pin Kwabia bitter, but not for long, because Nachiku are disappointed, they will figure out evolution and adaptability. Self-preservation will kick in and they will make sure they take care of themselves. Achiran bijatoch kujenin kujorocha lui starve to death kulwe walai man wala na kera tuwe. So yeah ndadu mande and kibichog no. No, it is not going to happen. That is number one. That culture actually established already. I will not put blame on one person. You are not thin while powers are thin. Koi ko actually swoop in with actual lawyer kayin is supposed to take care of everybody and we all hear it. Actually also kulit kuning luntinun chayo juba. Everyone you are disappointed in you. You know what, I am so disappointed. Yin ken ken ko ken ken ko ken ken a ken loy pandu. But if you flip it back to them, kulo walai achi riok your it. Why don't you solve it? Huh? That problem, chi ja riok yo. Cái lot when kulo solve that. Instead, barandeng ben tau on the spot kulo pressure. So what I'm saying is, learning from experience is what has worked for me. Being that really disappointing and letting go that achiran that is responsible for your life, not even your parent. Parent who aka teen because they want to be in the. If they're not capable of taking care of you, you will have to figure it out. And it sounds like being a heartless person, but it works in the long run. Achin kichir ba krij bani atiada randeng chin. That is worse fate than death. Ba bi ja mi to karandeng. To me, I think it feels like you're already dead. You're just in chitogi kaj. You condemn yourself to a life of no purpose, a life of no productivity, a life of victim mentality. Yin luel na kina ane kina luoy ke yen kachiara right and I'm but don't absolutely things that don't really make sense. Maybe I'm too far removed from the culture. Lekin one by yene ko majogoka. Yin chila bari al kulo panaran kulo walai. Yin a goke tila. Ke ken in wedo kaj ku yen wokela e a wandu. Achiran, I don't think there are la demand kulo yen yan wendu. Ache yen wenge yin shame for the community. This mindset, why don't we apply it to money? Money is your cow. Huh? Ba weng randang ba meko kulo walai na ken yen ran chipi yoga kana. It's something I really I don't know how people can get out of it, but they really need to figure it out as soon as possible. The change will come eventually. Achira loyi Kenya. Inchil bakim real miadur kulopa and run without announcement, without appointment. Ngot kira loyi kiri jiage, lakini ran kena aning budget, aning time schedule. Achi kuduen benja pa miadur kujitit, achan pi benja lor ke ina kaman. And if you keep doing it every day, you are ruining their life. You need to stop. So, yeah, query judge, what is your perspective on this?
Yeah, shukran red lakir, you know, inche wela jaket tulaven. You know, ya di dom chin well parent. Look at the chin go I will ko ben ko I can layer walk to what you know. Blame ka bangot ka yana ka bangot ka jwak ko ko yana point when na ko. So acha well achi piet ba ko ba ke ya blame. Uh, Late cake that wa chana chi yen chance chiki yin bay pin no especially your parent. Do ka kon blame well ah na ya chit na ya for example bal well na ya chit diet chimana yi Tanzania wala cha diet pandan pay. So kana achi record non work. So do ku de blame wala do na ko do na ke blame. Most of our youth man be it na ya rana ya jala nyut ku je government je blame government kana government kana có trên cái cho government so rana bena ci blame ci la taw nong randang so yung move du yin ku je government je yi la fail so swal kana kor bi barot kon ba kon ya ke road so yung effort dun cha kon taw okay ku ja government je la ban ke kadan you know government ci ko ya ci ko koy lom ko wan bi ke chol system of management daman ter wan kana system of management e bo ke dola wen ben be wero ni ko ben ko ero ya name e yang ka bi government ku je ben ya modernize ku je kana e bran ben bengi ku birana ben bi ya mai ko le na nga wan chura loite na ka bi ya address adi yana ka bi ke actual government kana so manatu in the society ran ben independent ku ke actual hamad no machan bi in kwana surai yana ke ko jala government okay manatu government achin ke reken tane pidu so pidu akaj ke yinito ku ka kor bi yin loy pidu ito so kana a korot ba ja jam to lobya ka community da ko a chike pyo dol wen ben ko ja lu depend non ko chi community da chi chi ko loy kana ku ka ti chi pet ya doj ting nong koy gagaret, you know, daman on yana doj la lui pa ko kol jaba be nyo be do pin. So ana ya la lui ko ana la lui chan am niar ba ya independent. So yeah, core cuman school fees da by then hey 5,000 5,100. So kana la luya na la liabi muna kujala koka. So ku daily wages by then ya yi 1,500 1,200. Chana na ya kadang ana ya helper. Ana che chwech. So kadi ya ba kadang liap ko gam. At the end of the day an cham lain dia cham ku kadang moreover ya kadang e chol mu holiday. So achin kadi da wento. Chatting. So koi ga cái community dai koi ko kai ben lui ki in discourage yang we in kana aloi rare pan ran kana yele chatting in la kwela ko kol gege so ala ban niar ala ban wele yi de ne kana so angkor baranda na ka ba chalere liere ye la ben no chin ke chol liere te ke chol loy so kana kor bu chu nyai woni yeah, na ye man minister chen ye lweli ni chilu. Never. So kana akor buku nyai. Na nang ran luin blame lwel yang win lo baya lui kui rer pan ketoy. So kana lay nita in ega na PDA. So ran ti abijala bana bende ku kadang dia ega an wana PDA. So kati abela ben ke ketia ke jaret ku kabin la tau ki rana wen to ki independent a chu discuss when kan I say nang lesson da ne jam ku et la pya ga ke chon love so rana chu question a chi ja ban ti ja le chan ko ka jam about near nearly you know near nearly near di da when e luai ka dan ku ka chin ka when you expect in return I think yaran je le yen apiet na luoy ko kanang ran ni ja chul ka bo no ngin chanen ni era ka pio je le ben ni dongin for 30 days e ben yan 10k yan 15k for 30 days je le ka so na ina da ka jalo da ka jalo ni ora nang go le yen ka ti na ye chul ka jam yo da du kin ja stupid go kai ka ni le kwa ja ben yo wen ja nam ben bai so comment dien cha ben gam le yen rani le bases rani na ye ran wen chiril ai ken le ba tiang lon wen be yin ne akwan la ba gut benang ka den yo lekin na ye ran wen chuk riel ko ja presenter da ja nyot le ran wen chirin ka le go an wak so ka che ka ni merir so lon boy a chin ke yin cha ben ka den ba ya chol ke mi ajan kana che chi lui kana so all in all apiet chi road be a blame ko kor banang that sense of being ya independent by ya independent bakor by ya independent by any mean though pandu wen ang mal akor by ya tem by ya independent so ku ken kana abin point so ba ngot ka ja to we ko ba yutan mesen di ba ja ben ba yala shukran
No, thank you. Lu vale, go and walk. Yeah, that is story very similar kind of story a friend of mine told me some time back when we were in university that among brother day the man temera tong pinya tem ke chon mu kwa. And so the brother there run go le brother there for point right we brother then real what a buy kubra tang atem ke kwa I can put go len play go bala tem ba ko la kwa you know tem mu kwa and then I been in something like yo me like go kitin by chance said by actual leave you can go and use your energy to get paid go ran go le yung bin ko chola te bi ja lo ye men pan di re ni ja lu ye chin ke ka dam je ngade ku je ri up and
getting that
and that day was sharing with me and I was laughing and it happened in many our communities You might man the pan, you know, Juan suit, Juan Puru suit, and again, Jala Louis, Jala Louis, Yomia, in because you're like,
Je
right?
ting da.
And then because
Kwen
of
na
pride,
chingran bi ben myo je ko I jama ya. Chingran when bi school fees ku chwar piny at some point ele. So
yeah.
akim kan nim lela ya. So
Exactly, and that is a negative pride. And I know our community want of pride, and pride is good for good certain thing, but it's bad for certain things. If your pride takes you away from value, then kache pride yes. And like it can attest this even me when I was in Kakuma. I usually what I few no the one tell I few tie only tie into. And I've learned, where Miss Commandis, where we can laugh, where about doing your lot. It does not mean Baba was not sending us money, but we need to do something with our hands. We need to do something with our mind. Who will contribute to what our dad was doing? So that
correct.
pride, I took Ben swallow, and we did those small business growing up, and we thank that to our mother who encouraged us to and very important. Achirani lar kri chinde philosophy to kan mama kan achirani lar kri chinde. Chala ye lo rechir so long as it bring you money. Which you say kuri jua chalwela wrote on the platform that in the too. I know like he love money. Why I chol ga dam yin. Achiran one will.
Yeah, chingran baru wati.
Yeah. And I know even got a comment you did have the we are and all our community we like money because we'll get in work can near get in work low guy in work on near in work point. So it's pertinent to this topic of youth empowerment and the role of youth in our society. If you just join this conversation, the Christian work about the role of youth and how youth can use their mind to actually contribute positively to a community instead of you know you know getting deep into this culture of dependency and empty pride whereby you are preserving your energy because man ngadi to kurbala lu yichin or degree right now jabel or degree because what if you rate degree to bala lu yichin and on a degree if you cannot find a loan degree go bala lu yichin until go opportunity loan degree ben so Abraham Kwale Jam secondly we youth have to accept any type of job. Exactly, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you for saying that. If office job is not there today, you just do blue collar job and still be office job bad. In work, we progress. If we just want to be relying on external source, and I check our culture too. Like a lot of bad things you can protect our culture our culture, right? Ke choli me chete our culture. And la juba war ka cha lim diara lim rurani lim. And I was so disgusted because my pride and so Sudan I believe, and Malia. And even our communities, well, and ke jam kedita dura chuo kedita chelim. I used to love that, right? So we are not known for begging, and now the culture has changed. I used to hear and one of U10 member, Chola one who repeated that one panijim who can pur or chapur kuya damdu who korba limra pan jeran kayin chelo kulele mio chera you lo ku you ke temra ke ka kwani ke tem you go and help them, right? And at the end of the day, chene ke jato hutem tin ka you don't even say anything. Tin dura ka ti ku kuler kan ken kore pan ya ti ku de join nothing. Maybe in kere war pan you know this. In chelo lo mi aja you go and help people and then you end up being given, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. So that is the kind of thing that we need to do. Even a particular quality telling me to do this. We have a plan of what do you it shall give and take. What do you want to give me in return? You want to come and contribute on the U10 platform? Okay, then now you are giving me an honor, but the advocacy and activism deal will use the ben support. Now, if I have to support you back, now okay, exchange your value. And okay, now that is a good way of growth. And getting watching Gamma in Baba Tindu. One walk at the Indian law, now a jab yakada, watching map, and that is the U-turn you want. That is the progress you want. Where you see, you know, no and pan wulan, kala kwanya no and pan wulan and pan wulan a konyi ni return. Achi a kade. I know in our culture community, I love, na a pan, na rare pan wulan, for example, pan which in warir walk, kapuma, who yin pan one cannot tell you to school because you're downy right kuna pan hulen ci jur ora rusa nos bo ci jur ke le bala na you can rusa in kule yin ber hot kute ci kan ci yo ye ken and you don't see the value that pan hulen e chon in for free hey maybe they are paying for your school fees so what are you giving in return maybe you need to help with babysitting during holiday or you need to help clean the room no che yang e bingo kwa bingo e ko en career for a family so could book that mindset, book encourage you have to give something to get something. And when we do that, we grow well. So we have a 2 minutes to say your U-turn message and then about Ben Gur with announcement of next projects that are coming up. So Lakir, so what is your U-turn to the youth, to the community, or even to the U-turn, how to get better based on this topic? What role can we play to bring empowerment to our communities and our country?
Thank you, Akwa. I call kanisa luel yung book ler bi ako if I remember correctly, kuri judge. And then where ler bi at the end of the
Absolutely,
day.
absolutely.
Yeah. Kikar book ler bi a responsibility. Responsibility for your own life, responsibility for your own community. If you are looking outside for ran being coin, kin core ran being coin ideas, ran being coin to the right resources, ran being coin to help you get where you want to get. But the agency has to be yourself. Yin ran in human being with dignity. And how do you live with that dignity is showing you can do something for yourself and then later on for others you can go they can deal with their problem in the meantime and that message may sound like a selfish they ran chin and you make it in life don't forget about them when you get back lekin be on that bayat on the agenda of your self-improvement of pursuing a better life for yourself and for your children actually below through what you've gone through and most people if you are from the same background as myself we've gone through a lot you will not sit down and put your own children through the same life Jinlo. That is just selfish, right? So in the meantime, make sure you build a life that now ning hardship baby in the future kachi kami kuchi really relate to your stories. I like when our parents share the stories, but you cannot relate. Alui story to share kana mandu. I recently watched Nyan Pin to do Iran achan ba lui connect and culture din achi jala nyuj piny ku je mamade je lui interview je kokok de lui interview and then achi mamade achi wan US ajela ben US kechila jam ko kokok de she was able to understand the background and the behavior kamamade usually first gen migration achin cultural integration and I think that generational gap and in culture gap or loy kam kemit kena work natural law na wo ko to Kenya. Our own parents, some things they do we don't understand. But as you grow and as you discover and as you learn about their stories, you get to build compassion of why they're not able to give you the life you think you deserve. And then from there you make a resolution. Kulala yan anchi be a parent mama dia or baba dia. I will be a different parent. And how am I going to be a different parent? By having resources with a young right with a means of building your life your bible which bible you will God will provide for people for his people and whatnot but actually you provide you need to get out there and go meet the opportunity preparation meet opportunity is equal to luck or answered prayer so generally long, you will go out and see. knowledge abe prayer do be answer in a way that you need to be there to receive, be ready to receive in Kabbalah. And for this, I'm a preacher. The good thing about knowledge is taking it and applying it to a different situation. Beauty in Kanisa, don't take it so literally. Take it kulare PDH, lawyer apply. How is this teaching going to help me solve this problem? So problem solving, taking responsibility for your own life, listening to ideas, gifting others with ideas, gifting others with information, and be grateful to whoever created internet, because right now you can do literally anything you put your mind to it, because resources are out there. Yeah, about Politan, I'm getting to be a preacher, but not for bad things. For the U-turn is good. They encourage
Amen.
us.
Amen. Amen. And you know, coach Yutan chocolate topic piet yek ben yal ko beke jami, you know, a piet that be nang topic yak ben yal ko beke ting kawen layer community tweng ai ke kapiet support beke ya jami ko topic kene tong the cake. You know, ke ba ja lwel ke wehdia na kar wala ke yene wer bu ko leer bi ci man wen cena abuna ala kire lwel. So yen appeared by a dynamic, you know. So most of motivational speakers they will don't kind of consistent, no? At some point a bit. So just be dynamic in life. So na neng ke level loy ite na akor baya loy. Anang elders kien ka kero to kanisa di dana highland juba elders ni arke kare ran to ga chol atematona god ku jala ran to ga chol ma bior ding bul. So koi ki ai koi chike chol work ku jala education chike chu date. So ai ka chi pye ku loy ai ka waj kaka. So ai ka device lanien before being law university well before being nang course do na when support ba master apiat benang technical skills ngi ke kimani yi wiring kimani yi chwaye go kimani yi ngo I thank God and you put be and ya and then kakien le banka lui fall back so any so an a manson so ile banan ke chwe lo no computer na kan yo god forbid so kin le bangot ka la chwe so kun neng kun la live le ka la twen so o kana apia da red apa baya dynamic akor banan ko kuna wen ye ke tau in case na chicken na chi yok ki bunguloi ba pira di e ke ti ya koro ku nye ko pride chimana mostly don bosco aya ping alwele to ka kuma aya to ka kuma wan lekin ana jagat don bosco to juba so don bosco wan ka kuma aya lwele yet failures of which it a wrong mindset so chin ke chol sukula wena ko pyo lon wen be yin ya lu chin so chen yen nyot yin ken pyo so pyo pe ku jala loy pe an jam wan an jam wan pure DNA kadang ka ya chol wak so just lo imagine na chiran ben to pin no ma chi jai biya we bakana ke nga bakana do we ke yi right ke yin kin chi ara no we bakana at that point so na jaira ben be wasaga kurge lai jairana ben karana ben yin ka bu watang du yin ka be a jora jan ran ben a chenom ke ta chi kana yen ka chok war kun ye ke chen na chi ke dan na chi ke twen ko ka ching ran ke ran ben pin no ma chenom tem ke yin ka ke ten chan ang loy loy ke di in chi ara no wen ba kana e to ko kana in chi ara no ko war in chi ara no jun watak ko yin ran to ko ka ye ke despise. So ako abu ko nimpa in that scenario. So ran ben aka ka riwe lon de na wan loy. So ka wa yu lui ko loy ben lui ke embrace. So duna lon duna loy duna ke chani well kana. You know and no pure red. You know the same kaya win e yin tarping ai ben yo wela te kulel mo inda chin kati na ka taw Kwe yin ka the same person ye despise when alwel yen loy loy ki imuna chi lui kurana yu wi ne lo ko ka che pio liar fi ya le ko kra kat chu ku tin ko ka ne ale an chu ko la lo ka ni sai so
No, I mean,
kana
preach, Pastor Quer. I mean,
yeah so kana a chi pia da de la so kana a kor bron nya ka dang ku jala dang ya dang kay yen second last ku ba jalu conclude ek ye chol wo ko wo ye youth wo do lu disagree ideas so kuna ja lu disagree one ideas so ka disagreement do ne social life do ne chi belo affect so kana appear that so na cha lu disagree ideas ka wo ye youth so do ka anan ko na cha lu disagree ala a che ro de ti kwa che mo loy kukiti ideas pe kujala social life pe nang ko le jawo ter wana amar dan leadership dan kadan South Sudanese boy ter a lot boy routine nyai awere lo ka be rana bina ti nge kan ko a ti rot asip chiga ko ken ka gwen e yen pir ko bre embrace kana ideas pe kujala social life pe kana ko abroad lo ma pia non wo ko ye youth ku jala we dia na kar apiet ba ya chol kwen ena ka ba ya we dia na kar so akor ba ya kwen okay benang daman dunie kadang anang ra ni cha thi post dien chanan 63 books kwen do run wan chebel bada kara ye lo ya di kana so mi hadur tenongen ana paj ke chi ta da dem so na cha pai ta da dem kan loy ka kien loy ke gi ba nyin pin ko lo ba wa so depending on weather so na chi ke ne chitok ke immediately ke ben ye chok e ke ye chol kwen kwana kwen alarm clock wala timer so 1 hour ya gam kadang chol ngo mi hadur aya dedicate banan kwen na be ya te ye lo wa ko before banan kadang before banan nin so kai chi wutanda na computer chi le wo ka chi le ye ne chi pet be ya kadang ye na aker e to nyin du ku janin chuma na gadgets ko an ka ya da computer wala telephone alwen ni che telephone yen be ya kara aker ku janin let it be book so kwa idea da anti lom ko 30 minutes wo kadang pe yang kaya nan pen so totally 1 hour ko jala 30 minutes ke yang kaya nan ka pen ya I think acha better ran cái ti na cái ti ku cái ti achi ijrel so a habit just build that habit so ko ba ya mu yinom na cha pa ku cha gok wala cha wa ka boy immediately engu e ke chol kwen kwele wako before bay in touch 30 minutes before chan 30 minutes kia alarm clock nyuat 30 minutes ke kwen ai ben ato kanen so ka ko ba ngi ku lota wale kwene kati crucial so abuten che ten kana family da na yutan we cha kek le che ping pie che we ping ne bandit ne beto kana we kati ke jaret ache be wer be ping ko wana ten lekine be ping ku lwet ku muk ko chin ku be bela luoy ago neng ka wen be gere pi dui so we cha kek le ne ale ne be ya to kana we shukran.
Thank you, Pastor Kur and Pastor Rice Alakir. And Dollar in Gakwarja, very interesting. Ruben Panchola, Dalter, and Nicodemus, Echilo, now you are going. So those are the people during the day.
Akan kwera majala kwera comment ati elche comment o ai ro kweli no ko kulele bada ati ngakatin
What are you know? You ban my girlfriend, like you or my boyfriend. But during the day, I want to get it anyway. It's a good thing, and thanks for sharing those things. Thank you, Ruben Panchul, for joining us in it. When walking in there on the youth, and we acknowledge, we appreciate your support. And together we'll make a big difference in our community. We'll drive the youth and a change for positive progress in the future. So we're going to work off it, been working about the role of youth, especially in our community. And when we say about our community, South Sudanese community, what do you think of it? So what can youth do in their own respective families, communities, and the country at large, wherever they are globally? And the youth and message from Alakir was the youth should take responsibility seriously. They have to embrace the responsibility for themselves, for their families, for their community, for their country. No blame game, no saying that Akuma Yile or Ankenu Kwanyele or no, you have to take charge of your and I am really happy Alakir brought that up. Kuri Judge also his U-turn message was, for youth to be flexible, to be dynamic, to be open-minded, take opportunities as they are. Don't look at that, no, no, peace, no, 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 there are so many ways today in key take away plus others personally my youth and message for the youth and young people is to volunteer your time. Career work youth and we are not being paid to come and talk. We are volunteering our time, we are volunteering our energy, we are volunteering our ideas to our community. So part of our contribution to our community. And ke chol volunteer tong jing kara chari de lo nye luek. Bala bagda lawyer but and our people are man but ke chol act of service, act of volunteerism. En ke ka chola twen. If not dam ram ben dam rat ke ne puri jwa ye lo story. Brand ben bro dam biam sura de pande. Ke ilo ka kok de ke chi ke le bak lo pidu na without this. Because of others in Kachinra and when Bakana today, you bra. Because of others in Kachinra and Lona, let you get somewhere else. And someone had to, to volunteer that idea. And maybe you pay backward, you pay later on. So every time, every energy that you share with the world is rewarded. And I can tell you for free, a lot of things I can learn for free. I can reward 10 100 times than kake lo ke for pay. Like I'm like to work 9 to 5 job, but I get satisfaction. Yeah, you watching with me, I get you look and coin. But things ya ka lo yan ka lu volunteer ke ka yan and ka reward you. And ke ka and reach ke ka and develop to do more things the ben can pay more. So we're quite well volunteering ke in ke my ten message to young people, especially young people. Now let you you will have more responsibility. Right now, I cannot volunteer a lot of my time. I only volunteer a few hours in a week to do this thing, but I have a lot of responsibility. I have two little children to take care, plus my other things. But if a young person in your family, this is the right time to give back to your family, to give back to your community, to give back to your country, participate in advocacy, in activism, participate in progress, ideas, go to places where you can, polish your mindset, your business idea for free, and it will pay off later on. Me, actually, that's where it will pay. So go and volunteer. Parting thoughts. While sure that supposed to be at 1:30. Jamu Panda is that next Saturday at this time we'll be long the show again at 11 Saturday like it was last year. And next Saturday a young lady who is doing a business in US, Rachel Awong. So a very story Jania Ben share and what it takes to actually run a business in US and I hope many young women will learn from these experiences. And of course, young men will also learn the support when you find a real support for her to be a CEO of that business that is thriving and that our community is supporting. Someone has to be behind that, and it take a real man to support their women to thrive in business. And so her story is very inspiring. So please come next Saturday and tune in and hear a story of Rachel Owen. Rachel was my schoolmate back then, and seeing her, thriving in US, new immigrant, kind of family day, and your midfield. That is how we should, learn from each other, grow from each other, and that will be good. Of course, we will have another webinar after that, another Saturday. And but the Saturday of February 1st will be very interesting. We'll be coming to talk about dowry. So it's kind of relating to youth. You know, dowry, and I see good judge is smiling. I think, well, yeah, I'm a bike, I got question, we will not pay. So you will have to pay 200 to get a wife, but I think your son, we will pray that she will not
Come
pay that.
on. Come on. Naka wala churu.
Well,
Anyway,
yeah,
actually,
but dowry, a bride price, a very huge rate, and it's something that is affecting our young people, is stifling their dreams, their ambition, and we need to talk about it. And the more we talk about it, the more it will, people mindset will change about this, and it's something that will have to be reduced. So that is a topic that is down the road to be discussed. So thank you all. We're going to tune in for the U-turn show today. We can message, we can share to reach many people as possible. And of course, let's go out there and do our work, be responsible, be flexible, and volunteer our time. And stay tuned for future U-turn discussion. Nelly Generation. Thank you, Thank you, all.